You've heard the word amortization many times and it gets used around a lot. But do you really know what that means or how it affects you in the future? Hi, my name's Qatar and I'm a realtor in Surrey and surrounding areas. And I make these videos to help first-time homeowners and sellers to understand the process. What is this amortization that we're talking about? Basically, amortization is a process in which a series of small payments are made towards a large payment. For example, when you go buy a house, you take a loan of $500,000 or $600,000. Now, you necessarily don't have that kind of money, so you go to a bank and they lend you this money. Now, you have to pay this money back. So, what ends up happening is that you make regular small payments towards that 500,000 so that you can pay off that debt. Now, what you have to understand is that in these payments, there are two parts: principal and interest. Now, interest is something that is considered as the cost of borrowing that money. So if the interest rate is 5%, 4%, right now it's about 5.5 or 6%, depending if you go variable or fixed. But for every dollar you put in, a certain amount of money will be put towards the interest, and the remainder would be applied towards the loan, the actual loan you took. So, which means, for example, if you pay $100 every month, and out of those $100, $50 or $60 goes towards your interest, and the rest go towards your principal. Now, in the initial years, the payments that are going to be higher for the interest amount because your outstanding loan is very high. But as the time progresses, the interest payments will go down and the principal will go up. Now, why is it very important to understand what kind of an amortization term you need? You see, the longer the amortization, the more the cost you would have to bear when it comes to paying off that loan. So in context of a mortgage, the amortization period is actually the length of time it takes to pay off the loan in full. This can range from a few years to maybe 2 to 3 decades, depending on the size of the loan. The amortization process allows the borrower to spread out the cost of a large purchase, such as a home, which allows the lenders to earn interest over the loan for the course of amortization. The borrower can reduce the cost of the loan by making some extra payments, which would reduce the amount of interest over the time. That's why sometimes when you go to the bank, the person would like to ask you if you want to make accelerated payments or weekly payments, which means in a year you make 1 or 2 extra payments. It is important to carefully consider the amortization period for a loan when taking out a mortgage, as the results could be a higher interest cost, which is basically a cost of borrowing, and you also need to understand the terms of your loan. A lot of times people make additional payments throughout the year, which is really great for reducing the cost of the interest, but again, depending from individuals contract to contract, there are times that you can end up paying a penalty for making excess payments. Now, there is usually an amount fixated, like maybe for years you cannot pay more than 10% or 20%. Again, this depends from individual to individual and from contract to contract, but you need to know if there's any sort of provisions in your mortgage term which would impose some sort of a penalty on either paying off your mortgage early or you pay off an excess amount for a specific term. Something to really consider. Well, I hope you understood what you were looking for, and if you like what I do, please consider following my videos to get more information about real estate. Thank you.